very, very, very interesting in terms of motivating, encouraging, you know, kids believing in themselves and to be able to work hard to go forward. The opportunities are there. As I continue to tell the kids, there's so much opportunities there that they, you know, will take a very long time to explain to them the amount of opportunities, but there's a whole lot of opportunities, but you have to be committed. You have to do the work. You don't need to wait to, you know, for coach to call a training session for you to get yourself organized. You know, you need to go and do your own running. You know, even if you can't, you know, I know we have the curfew now and you have all these different things. You have a yard. You could do some work out there. You could do some running in your yard, do some sit-ups, some push-ups. Keep yourself going. You know, they might be able to control the environment outside, but they can't control the environment inside. What, you know, what are you going to do with you know, what they say to you or what they think about you? What is your response to that? You know, is it going to make you stronger? Is it going to make you better? Or would you just give up and say, well, okay, that's it for me. I'm not going to keep going. Or would you say, okay, I have something here to prove to myself, not to you. I have something to prove to myself. I have to put in the work. And it happens.
Be the best. Be the best you could be, you know, be the best you.
Yep.
Don't take anything for granted. Don't take anything for granted. Don't take it for granted. Oh, well, because the only thing about it, Anthony,
yes,
when these kids say, well, you know what, I wouldn't train today. Yes, by the way, you need a rest day or two. That's part of how the body works.
Right?
You need a rest day. But the day you don't train, somebody else is training. Somebody else is training. Somebody else is perfecting the art. I thought Tiger Woods one time was crazy because he just won a tournament, just won $5 million. And in the interview at the end of the tournament, he's going, yeah, I got to go out tomorrow and hit a few more. I wasn't quite happy with certain things. And I was like, wait, you just won a tournament and you're already talking about going out and practice the next day? And I said, this is the mentality. This is what makes these guys great.
Yeah.
To keep working towards perfection. To keep working towards perfection. Good is the evil of great. When I become good, I'm good. Everybody tells me I'm good. But so your chances of becoming great is less. Right? Your chances of becoming great is less. Don't become good, become great. Do not fulfill a dream. A dream is I want to make my high school team. I make the team and I sit for the whole season, the whole semester on the bench. Fulfilling a dream is one thing, but fulfilling a potential is different. I've known kids who they made the high school team, but they had the ability to play in college, and they never did. I've known kids who make it in college and had the ability to go on, but they never fulfilled their potential. Somewhere along the line, something didn't work right because they didn't take it another level. Right? In their environment, everybody tells me I'm great. In this little bucket, I'm a big fish in this little bucket. So guess what? I'm standing out in this bucket. But there's a whole ocean out there. There's a whole ocean out there. So don't be a big fish in a little bucket. Hey, there's a whole ocean. When you go to the Olympics, it's the best of the best. When you go to the World Cup, it's the best of the best. Right? When you go to the playoffs, it's the best of the best. Right? Don't and that pain of regret, that weighs in tons. Sport that somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Right?
But
the more we bleed in peacetime is the less we bleed in war. Yeah, some of them guys training with live ammunition. You know, I'm next to you, Roy, and I go, hey, Roy, you know that was a real bullet? So when we actually go out there, yeah, I'm used to the real bullets passing me. I don't go, Roy, you know they're actually using real bullets? So the less you bleed, the more you bleed in peacetime is the less you bleed in war.
Very, very interesting, Dion. It was just a pleasure to have you, you know, with us, to encourage, to motivate, you know, to give us that additional push, you know, to keep going. You know, it's a journey, guys. This is a journey. This is a journey. This is what this is, and you know,
So, Roy,
Yeah.
And you know what I did? I take it and I write it like mnemonics.
Right.
Right? So it's P,
Mm-hmm.
right? USH. You know what that
Yes.
really means? Pray until something happens.
Happens. Yes. Yes.
Right? And I'm gonna do the same thing with fear. For
Push until something happens.
yeah. And I'm gonna do the same thing with fear, the word fear, because we have sometimes fear. What is fear? Put the F, the E, the A, the R, false evidence appearing real.
Yeah. Push until something happens. You gotta stay in there, you know, guys, you gotta stay in there. I know you would see me and Dion and be chatting and be smiling, but behind our appearance, guys, behind what we're doing, there's a story. There were falls and there were transitions we had to make. There were opportunities, there were failures, there were smiles, there were laughter, there were tears. You know, the journey. You know, it was a journey, and you could look back on the journey and see where God connect the dots, where you can see from where you were and where you came from, and the things you've been through and some of the different things, and you realize what it is. Like, for instance, for me, when I was back in Trinidad, I used to work, I used to do some coaching too at some of the preschools. And I really loved it. I have to be honest with you. I really loved it. I used to travel to a lot of the preschools. I used to be in the infirmary, which you guys call the poorhouse in St. James. I used to go there with a couple of the preschools, and I was working for someone who had a number of preschools. And I would go different parts and Chagonas, Couva, all over the place. They are coaching, preschool during the days. We're talking about 10 o'clock and 11:30, working preschools with all these different kids. And a lot of coaches would say, Coach, I don't know how you're doing this because I really can't deal with kids that age. You know what I mean? It's tough to coach and work with kids that age, but it's really not coaching. It's really working with these kids and having fun and playing and using soccer as a way of developing these kids mentally, psychologically, physically, getting them to move around and using the soccer ball. And I just loved it so much. And then now I'm here in the US and I'm here many, many years. And when I look back at that, it was God getting me ready to do what I am doing right now. God don't waste anything. Everything that you're dealing with right now is a particular reason and a purpose. It's not going to waste. And now I'm working with so many different preschools during the day and then coaching during the evening and then coaching in the night. And I have to be honest with you, I told someone, Dion, I think it's today or day before yesterday, I told them, if you give me the opportunity, I think I would prefer to stay with those kids that I coach during the day. Because one, when you're working with, well, I can't say working, when you playing soccer with these kids, and I'm, around 3 and 4, and I know we don't have much program in the Caribbean around 3 and 4 at that age, but 3 and 4 in the United States, they are playing soccer 10 o'clock for half an hour classes, guys. For those of you who are listening, in the United States, I work with kids 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, around that age. 10 in the morning, 10:15, 11, half an hour classes at different schools. I go and work with kids. And I'm not talking about a class with one kid. We're talking about I go to school and you have 21 kids. Some of the schools are 15 in preschool kids. They sign up and you're working with these kids. And one of the things with the kids, the kids can understand and read you. When you're dealing with bigger kids and you're having issues or you're dealing with anything, you could go there with that. But when you go around kids at that age, you got to be like them so they can understand what you're doing and they could be a part of it because they will pick up on your body language. They will pick up on your facial expression. They will pick up on your joy and what you bring to the class with them. So I really do love it, Dion. And then I look back many, many years where I used to be leaving home and headed to Chagonas. And I was in a Rema. So I was to leave early to get across there. Sometimes you're going against the traffic in the morning, go through Kelly Village and those areas, driving and going around there to go Chagonas to work with kids. And now I'm watching years now, I am here working with kids around. And you realize now you know, God has used you in so many ways to help motivate, encourage, and develop, and give these kids and them, you know, that opportunity that they could learn and grow and become better at what they are. But Dion, I'd like to thank you so much, man, for spending this time with us today. Very, very interesting. Some wonderful takeaways from your information that you shared with us in terms of your journey, you know, not giving up, not giving in, not quitting, remaining focused. You fell down, you get back up, and some of the steps you had to take to reach where you are today. Because a lot of people see us and Dion, and they don't see the things we've been through and things behind us, what we came through to be where we are today. They look at us and say, hey, oh, he's rich, he's a technical director, but they don't know. You know, Anthony's coaching in the US, but they didn't know the last 15, 20 years when I was here in the US and back and forth. You know, the kind of stories that come with it, guys. Every day you're making stories, guys. I want you to think about it. Every day, every second is you're building your own, as we could say, and my background is television, broadcasting, videos. So every day is like, it's part of that film that is going to be completed when you go home to meet your Lord and Savior. That whole film there that you're making every single day, you're going to fall down, you're going to make mistakes in it, but it's not, you know, it's progress. Making progress in the where you are. Little steps, tiny steps, Dion, making tiny steps to go forward and achieve and believing in yourself. Because there's so many times that people would show so many things at you that sometimes you just have to step away and or you may have to go in front of the mirror and start talking to yourself and say, I can still do this in spite of what somebody thinks about me or what they say. I can do this and I need to get myself going, because if you don't do this, what you're really going to do? And you gotta stay in this thing and battle through it till you could get it. I remember in Trinidad when I was there many, many moons ago, I would go and coach and only one kid turn up. What do you tell the kid? No training session today? No. You work with that one kid. You work with that one kid and you stay with that one kid and you work with that kid and you keep going. You see, God gave us, you know, few things he gave us to work with us, to see what we're going to do with it. Not like he don't know, but he wants you to know what you're going to do with it. So he already know the start, the ending from the beginning, but he would give you certain things to see your attitude and how you treat it, how you take care of it. You know, how could you leave to go abroad in another man's land to study and play soccer and focus, but you are in your land, which you were born, where you born and you grew up in, and you're not settling yourself down. If you can't settle where you are, it's going to be difficult for you to settle where you're trying to go, because you're going in a place that you know nothing about. The odds are against you even self when you really look at it. So you got to get yourself together where you are. You got to become disciplined and organized. Like Dion talk about that 11-year-old kid getting up that hour and training. You got to be able to do those things yourself. Because when you come out here, there are schools that get up 5:30 in the morning to train when the snow is falling. I had collegiate coaches on the set say that to you guys already. Yeah, you gotta get up and work. You're gonna tell us 6 inches of snow, coach, and it's, you know, -2, so I'm not coming. Seriously, you gotta get up and do it. So, guys, thank you so much again for logging on. Dion, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and your encouraging words. And as I said, guys, it's a journey. Like I mentioned to Dion off air, 2 training sessions this morning, came home, set up the set, get something to eat. And as soon as me and Dion come off the set, I have a 6:30 game. So I'm going to leave the set with Dion, get myself together, get in the car. Dion, you understand what's going on with this, right?
Definitely.
Get in the car and get on the highway, because we have a 6:30. But there's the coach there already, you know, so the coach understands what I'm doing, so he's fine with it. So I'm going to head across there now. So my day started very early this morning, working with kids. 2 training sessions, finish about 11:30, 12 o'clock, came home, get myself together for this. Now back out again, coaching again tonight. with a game with those kids for 16, 17-year-olds. So it's a journey, and I have to love, I have to be able to love what I'm doing, because these kids are depending on me too. The parents are depending. They want me to be able to work with their kids and encourage them, because they want to get into colleges and university too. And they're working hard in the nights when we're working. So it's what it is. But God is good, Dion.
All the time.
It's a pleasure, man. And guys, thank you for gracing us with your presence, guys. John, I know you were here all the way out in England, and I know it's about 12 midnight, just about 12 midnight, John. Thank you so much for logging on, John. And I know we're gonna have you on the show pretty soon. Guys, look out for a number of more programs coming out to inform. And as I said, once again, the number again to be part of the WhatsApp group is 954 380-4829. That is where I put all the information for all the different scholarships for all the coaches. They would come in there and they would get the information. Dion, thank you so much.